Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. You are all welcome to Kasoa New Town, Accra, Ghana. This is Adewale Olakunle Tinis, President of Pan-African Health Professional Organization. We'll be having an international collaborative forum on the plastic solution with two organizations from Nigeria. You are all welcome. Before I proceed, we'd like to appreciate and welcome the organizations from Nigeria. That is Kejibaus Youth Development Initiative, President of Kejibaus Youth Development Initiative, in person of Ambassador Prince Adetoro Aderemi Osino. You are welcome, sir. And secondly, the second organization from Nigeria, that is the president of Habitable Earth International Organization, in person of Ambassador Ajayi Akintoye. You are very much welcome to Kasoa New Town, Ghana. Thank you.
I'll be speaking on behalf of my organization, which is Habitable Earth International Organization. So I would like to thank the partner organization, that's Pan-African Organization, as well as Kejibaus Youth Development Organization for having us around here in Accra, Ghana. This event is actually about creating an enlightenment about how to manage plastic waste properly. So, because it is becoming a menace if it is not well managed. For example, if all these plastics are left in the environment, it may disrupt the ecosystem. So we are here to enlighten and to educate us and to clean the environment as well. So on this note, I'd like to once again say thank you everybody for having us here.
How are you doing, sir?
I'm very fine, sir.
Well done, sir.
You are welcome to Ghana.
Thank you so much. All the way from Nigeria. It's been a very rigorous journey. Thank you so much for having us.
You're welcome, sir.
How is the job doing? How are you doing over here? How is the job going here?
It's not so easy.
Wow.
By the grace of God, we are trying.
Okay. So it's been a very rigorous event or encounter.
Yes.
Okay. So over here, according to what we had in Nigeria, you select the black as in different colors goes together, isn't it? Is that how it's done here in Ghana?
Yes,
too?
yes. That is how we do it.
Okay.
Every color go
Together.
color.
Okay.
Like white go to white.
Okay.
White, red go to red.
To red. Thank you so much. On our way coming, we saw a lot of drainages where your government are really doing wonderfully well here. Because
Yeah, guys, we are trying. Our boys are trying, making sure they are picking all the rubbers on the streets.
Wow.
So that everywhere will be neat.
so thank you so much. Can we just take a little walk around to see how far you've gone?
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Kofi.
Okay.
So as we can see, this is a yellow. Yellow goes with yellow. We can see the brown colors are together over there. Then these are black. These are black colors. Yes. Yeah. So everything goes together. This is okay. It's like this.
Transparent.
Transparent. Okay. Can be likened to the white color. Okay. Yes. I can actually see your workers there. They are trying. They are putting things in perspective. So awesome. Let us go around to see more awesome jobs. So these are the transparent version. This is black recyclables. Okay. This is all
Cream. White.
okay. This is white.
Cream. Yes.
Okay. White.
Cream.
Let me open them so
Yes.
that our people can see what we are talking about. Wow.
This is called cream. White.
Okay.
White. This thing. This one is called Future Milk.
Okay.
This is Future Milk. That's what they are doing now.
Okay. It's like we have the rebranded Vijumic in Accra here too, right? Because we have Vijumic in Nigeria. These are the branded version.
Yeah, the Future Milk go viral now.
Okay, it's true. Through importation and exportation.
Yes.
Wow, this is wonderful. This is what's the name of this machine?
This is called compressor.
Okay, compressor to like
Yes.
put them together, to compress them together
Yes.
to make them a lightweight something.
Yes.
Wow, wow. Are you the one operating this as the manager, or you have people doing it on your behalf?
I have people.
Okay, you have people that are working.
Yes, I have people.
You are really doing a very good job here. You are keeping the environment clean, and you are also part of the working system that is making the environment a habitable place for all. Thank you
very
for
much.
having us, Mr. Kofi. So, Mr. Kofi Daniel, it's so good to have you here. Do you know what we call eba here in Ghana? We eat eba made of cassava flavor, you know. I don't think you consume that. We consume banku in Ghana and the likes, and water soup and onion soup and the likes.
Yes, yes, yes.
And you eat a lot of coconuts here too.
Yeah.
Wow, and you have beautiful women here over here. Mr. Kofi Daniel.
Thank you very
So
much.
I want to use this medium to welcome the president of Pan-African Health Professionals, Dr. Adewale. I want to welcome him to this platform once again.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ajayi Akintoye. You are
Thank you,
very
sir.
much welcome all the way from Nigeria.
I appreciate, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much. We want to thank you, Mr. Kofi Daniel, for giving us the avenue to come to inspect, and see how recycling of plastic is being done here in Kasoa, New Town, Accra, Ghana. Thank you so much, and we believe that we will be partnering more, with you, as time goes on, especially for our research and further collaboration. Thank you so much, sir.
You're highly welcome, sir.
So, Mr. Kofi Daniel, thank you so much again. Thank you for having us. I want to use this medium to also welcome my partner in success, in the person of Ambassador Prince Aderemi Adetoro, the president of Kejibaus Youth Development Unity, to this wonderful occasion once again. Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much, my ambassador.
Thank you, sir.
We really appreciate. I want to say a big thank you for the manager of this plastic plant to have allowed us to work with them and to have shown what is needed to keep our environment clean, and in lieu of solution to plastic issue that we are having now around the world. Thank you very much, sir. We really appreciate you. And it's quite sunny here in Ghana, more than what we have in Nigeria. Even the climate change now have, beginning to change the weather in Nigeria right now, but it's quite still sunny here in Ghana. Thank you very much. I would like to say hi to your co-workers here, to appreciate them also. Thank you. Well done there. How's everything? We really appreciate everyone that is working on this plant site.
Yes, sir.
For well done. Una well done.
Welcome, sir.
Okay. So you part of the people creating solution for plastic waste.
Yes, sir.
So we'll be visiting you some other time.
Okay, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Ẹ ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ ní sáà.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. You are all welcome to Kasoa Newtown, Ghana. Our partners from Nigeria, you are all welcome. Kejibaus Youth Development Initiative and Habitable Earth International Organization, representative from them, you are all welcome. And before I proceed, I would like to welcome the President, especially in person of Prince Ambassador Adereme Adetoro, the President, Kejibaus Youth Development Initiative, and the second partner from Nigeria as well, in person of Ambassador Ajayi. We are welcome, sir. That is from Habitable Earth International Organization. You are welcome to Kasoa Newtown, Ghana. So to these international collaborative forums on plastic solution, you are all welcome, and all the representatives, you are all welcome as well. Please kindly have fun and as we go on with the program. Thank you. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. You are all welcome once again. We'll be moving on to start this collaboration forum, so which is the major reason why we are here. Like we said, today our collaborative effort is all about the plastic solution, and we'll be deliberating and discussing a lot of issues as regards to menace of plastic pollutions across Africa and around the world. So before we move on, so we'll be starting our discussion right now, and we'll be starting from Habitable Earth International Organization in person of Mr. Kayode Kolawole. He will be lecturing us on awareness and knowledge driving plastic solution. You are welcome, sir. Can you stand up? Thank you.
afternoon, everybody. Thank you, Mr. President, for inviting me to deliver this brief lecture, or let's just say an insight into what we can actually do based on the theme of this event, which is plastic solution. Without wasting time, my name is Kayode Kolawole, and I represent Habitable Earth International Organization all the way from Nigeria. So I'm here to discuss about the awareness and the knowledge-driven plastic solution. Now, why plastic awareness matter? See, plastics affect ocean, soil, air, and human health. Awareness is the foundation for change. Each year, 8 million tons of plastic enters the ocean. This is according to UNEP. And if we are very conversant with what's happening in our environment lately, international organization, precisely United Nations Environmental Protection Agency, they've been all over the world, especially Africa, trying to coordinate each country's sub-regions to effect the reduction in the use of plastic. Because most of this plastic, according to research, should I say they don't evaporate? If you use the plastic and you dump it, it can be there for over 400 million years. That's according to them. It is just there forever, and it cannot destroy unless it is destroyed. And then if you destroy it again, that's another problem. It will affect the environment. Now, plastic in everyday life. There is what we call single-use plastic. That is our nylon bags, the bottle, the packaging, the bottles, they relate to the bottled water, pet coke, and all those. So, and there is the hidden plastics, there is what we call the microbeads, there are fibers, tires, etc. Plastics are everywhere in our daily lives. We cannot doubt it. Now, we talk about the knowledge-driven solution. When we talk about the knowledge-driven solution, there are researches on alternatives. Alternatives like bioplastics, and then there is data-driven policies and bans. This particular aspect, which is data-driven policies, they are the steps taken by each government to control the use of plastics. Because at the end of the day, those plastics will constitute environmental hazard, which in turn will affect our oceans, the air we breathe, and then the ecosystem in general. So, to also support this knowledge-driven solution, there are also circular design thinking. Now, when you talk about circular design thinking, you're emphasizing how you can recycle those already existing plastics without destroying them. So they talk about reuse, recycle, recover. Moving on to the next one, this is the role of awareness. We have to ensure that everybody that is a part of the environment is made aware of what is at stake. That is why they've introduced education in schools and communities. They try to educate them on how to manage the use of plastics within their communities. Then we have the social media campaigns, which is the Facebook ads, Instagram, TikTok, messages, to to create an awareness to users on what is at stake. We also have the eco-labeling. We have a message, refuse single use, and we have the choose reusable. I think that is quite self-explanatory because I don't want to waste our time too much. We also have the science and technology innovations. When we talk about science and technology innovations, we talk about the biodegradable plastics, advanced recycling, and we also talk about chemical and mechanical. Then we talk about AI for waste sorting and monitoring. If I just want to emphasize on a few of these things I listed here, if you talk about biodegradable plastics, we are talking about the latest invention in science where they've created some plastics that does not really affect the environment. The materials they use in producing those plastics are actually organic. So at the end of the day, it does not really constitute any hazardous threats to the environment. Now, I want to discuss HEOG's role. HEOG actually is an acronym for Habitable Earth International Organization, which is the organization that I am speaking on behalf from Nigeria. Where we come in is that we try to drive awareness and advocacy. We also try to build partnership globally. Then we support innovation hubs. I cannot start listing or mentioning events or stuff that we've done in the past, but I can actually tell you that we have been involved in so many advocacies. This actually is one of them. This particular event that is holding in Accra, Ghana right now is one of them. We've also held other events to build partnership globally and to also support innovation hubs. Like for example, if you have anybody that comes up with an invention that can actually help us in the management of plastics, we do the best we can to support such innovation, such individual, such brilliant mind. Now, moving on, we have the ecosystems and circular plastic solution. When we talk about this is actually talking about the awareness and knowledge-driven plastic solution that Habitable Earth International Organization has been involved in. Like I said earlier, we cannot start mentioning. We've done so many things to contribute our own little quota. We cannot do it all. Pan-African health professional organization cannot do it all alone. Kejibaus, we can't do it all. We have to collaborate with every other sister organizations because it is not something one of us can do. So by saying that all we need to do is to create more awareness, to reach out to people, especially people in remote villages that do not really have access to social media or any kind of telecommunicating media. If I have to introduce plastic pollution, plastic pollution is threatening ecosystems globally. Circular solutions are crucial for sustainability. By 2050, plastics in ocean could outweigh the number of fish. This is not my saying, it's according to United Nations Environmental Protection. So I think this is also self-explanatory. If you read it, that plastic pollution is actually threatening us globally, and we need to take a step to reduce the level of pollution. So, understanding our ecosystem includes the forests, the oceans, the wetlands, and the urban systems. They provide oxygen. For example, the forest, they provide the oxygen that we breathe, food and water, and then climate regulation. All species are interconnected. There was a time they were cutting so many trees in the forest. The deforestation in the name of building cities. People are making money. At the end of the day, the thing is coming back to affect our environment. Because if you cut a tree without growing another one, you are reducing one tree that is giving us oxygen. In other words, we are actually creating a problem for ourselves. So, the ecosystem is what I was trying to explain here. It includes our forests, oceans, the wetlands, and the urban system. Excuse me. Next in line is the plastic problem, which is why we're here. Plastics are long-lasting and non-biodegradable. Microplastics enter the soil, the food chains, and human health. Example, marine life death, soil facility loss. I'll explain. When we use a plastic, especially back home, I don't know if it is done here in Ghana, back home where I come from, people use, when it's about to rain, people go and dump refuse inside gutter. And then the rain will wash the refuse. Where is it washing it to? It's going to drag it to somewhere. At the end of the day, all those refuse, all those plastics, they will enter into the ocean and they will block the surface of the ocean because they cannot sink. Once they block the surface of the water, the organisms living in the water, they will not have access to light. They will not have light, solar light, sunlight. They will not have access to sunlight. They will not have access to oxygen, enough oxygen. The end result is they will start dying. When they start dying, the fish you are going to eat will reduce. Last, there's going to be famine. So you can see that everything actually starts from somewhere and it enters another stage. So we have the linear and the circular economy. The linear talks about take, make, dispose. The circular talks about reduce, reuse, recycle, recover. Circular economy closes the loop to minimize waste, as it is explained here. The linear economy is what most African countries are still on at the moment, which is what they make the plastic. After you drink water, you dispose it. After you dispose it, that's the end. It means that waste is going to realizing how they reduce those plastics. And even if you cannot reduce it, if you use it, you can reuse it again, recycle, and then after recycling, it means you are recovering that plastic into something else. It is also plastical, but at least it has removed the actual us disposing that plastic so that it will not go into the ocean or wherever to affect the ecosystem. At least if we, for example, if you drink a bottled water now, there are some people that will just pack those bottled water. Instead of you dumping it into somewhere, some people will pack it and they will take it to a plant, they will crush it, and they will, there are some certain production stage that will go on, and it will be changed into something else, maybe reusable nylon bags. So this is what the circular economy is describing here. Now, circular plastic solution. This design plastics for recyclability, just like I explained. It developed innovative material, that's bioplastics and compostables. It promotes extended producer responsibility, and it encourages community participation. The knowledge-driven solution. It talks about investing in research and innovation, educating schools and communities, the use of data-driven policy frameworks. It also fosters partnerships among government, NGOs, and industry. This is the reason why, this is the reason why we have been involving ourselves in knowledge-driven solution, because we want to participate with every relevant organizations. Now, we move on to awareness and community role. We've been emphasizing awareness since I started discussing this matter here. It is because without people knowing what to do, they will just continue to dump those plastics. So awareness is very, very important. That's why we say awareness drives behavior. It drives behavior change. And these are the tools that can help us create the awareness. We talk about campaigns. That's physical campaigns where sometimes you just carry banner. All of us, we just start distributing leaflets, flyers, to educate the people around on how to manage plastic waste. We also have the use of social media, that's Facebook, Instagram, or whatever. You can just create a video or create an advert or something to educate the people that are watching. We also have eco labels. That one is just a very soft, disposable sort of leaflet here that you can distribute to people. And mind you, it is eco-friendly. Now, we have the best practice. That is the refuse single use, choose reusable. In Lagos State, Nigeria, they've actually started implementing this. They actually placed a ban on single-use plastic. So even most supermarkets in Lagos now, if you go there, they don't give you nylon to pack your stuff. You have to come with your bag of stuff to carry whatever you purchase. So they are trying to encourage us to choose reusable plastics. We are getting there gradually. So we have the interactive section. If you have any question to ask, please feel free to ask me. But we have a restricted timeline. Is there anybody that has any question, or if you want me to go back and explain anything about what I've just discussed? Okay, I think I'm good to go. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much for giving me attention.
Mr. Kayode Kolawole from Habitable Earth International Organization, thank you for the incentive presentation and as regards to your work in providing solution to plastic pollution. Thank you. So our next in line for presentation will be from Kejibaus Development Initiative in person of Prince Sheyi. Will be presenting to us governance and the strategic plastic pollution.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Sheyi Olawi. I'm a prince. I bring greeting from Kejibaus Youth Development Initiative from Nigeria. and I want to thank the organizer of this, the host rather, that's Pan-African Health Professional Organization, based here in Accra, Ghana, and our partner, Applicable Health International Organization. I work with Kejibaus Youth, the Kejibaus Youth Development Initiative in Nigeria as the head of the climate change and environment. For the Kejibaus, we work on environmental issues in the area of climate change, conservation of biodiversity, and then we work on the issue of gender and some other sustainable development issues. So today I will be presenting on the governance and the strategic plastic solutions. This one has to do with the issue of governance, how we do manage waste in Nigeria, and then the regulations and the policies that really involved. The content will include, I will introduce the areas that need to be introduced, and I will talk about plastic pollution challenges in Nigeria, and at the same time talking about the existing governance, structures and policies in Nigeria. Also, I will stress more on strategic plastic solutions, then I will conclude our presentation. Let me first and foremost thank the first speaker or presenter, because he had spent more time to really discuss some of the points that I want to really join on, so to make my work a bit simple. Most time, if you go to Nigeria or you have opportunity of seeing some of our dailies, these are some of the stories that you will see on our newspaper, like plastic waste and fishes in Lagos time to act. Like Nigeria is the world's second biggest plastic pollution. One expert said that one. And then even the Guardian that is covering a lot of issues about the world environmental issues. They said world will be unable to cope with volume of plastic waste in 10 years. Those are the issues that you will see on our days now. Just to tell you that the issue of plastic is a global phenomenon. That's the essence of this particular stakeholders forum. So I will urge all of us to pay attention. I know some of us are working on similar issues in our different organizations, but not just to overflow the matter. I just talk about the points that you really need to know, just to remind you some of the things that you have known. Based on the introduction, I think the first speaker mentioned some, but I want to add more. Like in Nigeria, I'm speaking using Nigeria from my perspective. You know, in Ghana here it might be different, but I will stress more on Nigeria issues. Now in Nigeria, Nigeria produces approximately 2.5 million tons of plastic waste per year in Nigeria. Just imagine, 2.5 million tons. If you know what we call tons, and some of us that used to calculation, you know what tons is all about. That's to tell you that this is something unimaginable, that is something extraordinary for a country like Nigeria with population of almost like 220 million people. And then mostly some of these waste, especially plastics, some of them actually come from major cities. Talking about Lagos, talking about Kano, talking about Port Harcourt, and then extreme north eastern part, that is Borno and some other areas. But majorly Lagos, with a population of over 20 million people, they produce the highest plastic. And then we're talking about 8.8 to 15% of plastic waste are recyclable. That is just to tell you that most of this plastic they are something that we call recyclable materials. I know some of us that went to this recycling plant. You will see different plastics. Some of them, not all plastic can be recycled. Some of them you cannot recycle them. If you recycle them, they are of low economy, because I have worked in a factory like that. So, to progress, Nigeria is among the 20 countries contributing to marine plastic pollution. Everything about Nigeria is here. And then we're talking about 250,000 to 370,000 find its ways to Atlantic, you know, and talking about other coastal areas. And you know what happened to that's what we call marine litters. Some of them, at the end of it was even judged based on what the first presenter said, that it will come to a time that fish, they won't find anything to eat other than plastic, because it's already littered the entire sea. Then we're talking about Nigeria is the 9th largest contributor of marine litter globally. I think the first one has to be with India. I know China, as all these big countries, but you still find Nigeria at 9th position. Just to tell you how this phenomenon is raging in Nigeria. Then there are a lot of challenges that we are facing in Nigeria. Talking about the plastic challenges in Nigeria. The first one has to do with inadequate waste infrastructure. When you're talking about waste infrastructure, you are talking about access to maybe waste truck, the people that are working as waste pickers, all those people, those are the things that we are referring to as infrastructure. You understand? So, in essence, we don't really have them in abundance. With a country of 220 million people, imagine, for example, in Lagos, how many people are into waste management? Just a small number of people are in this industry compared to some other countries. I'm talking about advanced countries, where they have abundant or enough infrastructure to really tackle the menace of waste issues. Then we're not talking about population explosion. In my too, I said Nigeria is about 220 million people. And then we are still continuing. It was even said that by the year 2050, Nigeria will be competing with countries like China and India, talking about population. Can you imagine that as we have more people and people are generating different waste, the more this thing is contributing to, it's getting messier every day. Then we look at the waste management, that's talking about waste management laws and institutions. What I mean is that when you look at the laws that we have that govern waste management, especially in entire Africa, some of them, they are old laws that have been promulgated in some years back that are not in tandem or in tune with what we are experiencing today. Then we look at the institutions. What I mean by institutions is that the ministry, the agencies in charge of all this, in charge of management of the waste. You can see that corruption, especially in Africa, it doesn't enable them to really perform the way they are supposed to perform. For example, now in Nigeria, I will use Nigeria as a case study. In Nigeria now, we said that people should not dispose waste indiscriminately, maybe on the roadside. But if those people are caught, what happens to them? People will be begging. Even if you don't beg, you bribe them and then they will leave you. So that one stress more on the institution that we are having, that those institutions, they are very weak, and it's one of the challenges that we are facing when it comes to the issue of waste management. Then we look at overdependence on single-use plastic. The first presenter said that Lagos is trying to place ban on single-use plastic. But is this something that is effective? Is something that will work? I know some countries like Rwanda, Kenya, even Tanzania, they've placed ban on the single use of plastic. Even in Ethiopia, it's a taboo for you to come to Kenya today and bring plastic. They won't allow you to bring it to their country because they've already placed ban to it. But just imagine, immediately the Lagos state government announced that they want to place ban on this single use of plastic. It's caused a lot of issues, that they just want to stop some people from getting their means of life. They want to stop some people from getting their means of livelihood. Just to tell you that it's something that is very funny. And then the government maybe the government say, okay, we don't want to change this, we want to go. What will happen? It will now come to political stuff. That, okay, maybe in the next dispensation, people will not vote for that particular party because they've already taken away the means of livelihood. Then we look at the poor attitude of populace towards waste management. In Africa, I know a particular tribe in Nigeria. They will tell you that they cannot use, let me use a dollar because they're popular more currency. They will tell you that particular tribe, they will tell you that they cannot use $1 to buy a food and use $1 to dispose the waste. Just imagine, I don't know if you understand what I mean, that okay, you use $1 to buy a food, and at the end of the day, you want to dispose the waste after you have finished the food. You want to dispose the waste now, and then you are using $1, you are paying $1 to waste manager. So it doesn't make sense to them. But in advanced country, people know how to do it. You understand? They don't mind because they know that it's already to have a kind of adverse effect on their health and their communities. Then we need to, it doesn't mean, when we are talking about the existing governance structure in Nigeria, to be candid, we have a lot of structure. When you are looking for best blueprints, just come to Africa. We can only talk, but we don't walk the talk. In Nigeria, we have a lot of agencies, ministries that are handling our waste management. For example, we have Federal Ministry of Environment. In that one is just like an umbrella that manages all the entire waste management of Nigeria. They are the ones that formulate policies and then trying to work on the regulations, sign a lot of treaties on behalf of Nigeria. But how effective is this Ministry of Environment? That's a kind of $1 million question. Then we have an agency that is under Federal Ministry of Environment. That one has to do with National Environmental Standard and Regulation Enforcement Agency. This particular organization, I'm still going to talk about this organization when we get to regulation and policies. But this organization is saddled with a lot of responsibilities, working in time together with Ministry of Environment, because it's an agency under the Federal Ministry of Environment in Nigeria, saddled with a lot of responsibility when it comes to the issue of waste management. And then in each state in Nigeria, they have their own Ministry of Environment. Under them, we have waste management agencies. Just to tell you that in Nigeria, we have a well-structured governance when it comes to waste management. But the problem is that how effective are these ministries and agencies? That's another question that we really need to look into. Then, that one has to do with structure. What I mean by structure is that government structures managing all this waste stuff. Then we have a lot of policies and regulation. You understand? I said it earlier on that when you are looking for the best blueprint, just come to Africa, especially in Nigeria. We have beautiful laws. Just mention anything. We have law that even fight corruption, but how effective that law? We have law that caution a lot of things, even road management. We have laws, but still we are still one of the countries that experience large number of accidents daily, just because people don't really abide by the rules and the regulations. Now we look at the policies and regulations in Africa when it comes to waste management. One, we have national policy on solid waste management. You know, when we are talking about waste, we have waste in different forms. We have solid, we have liquid, we have hazardous, we have even medical waste. They are not different things. They might look like, all of them might look like waste, but they have different forms. So in Nigeria, we have, no, I said that policies, we have good blueprints. We have a particular policy that focuses on solid waste management alone. Solid like plastic, like glass, like card, paper, and some other stuff. So there's a particular policy in place. That one, I think that policy was formulated in the year 2020, thereabout. So that focuses more on the issue of solid waste management. We have another one that is holistic. That one has to do with national policy on waste management. You understand? This one is just like umbrella. It covers the entire waste management in Nigeria, all the do's and don'ts, and this is how it's supposed to be. So, and then we also have national environmental sanitation. You know, there was a particular time in Nigeria we have a military government of late President Buhari that came up with the idea of war against indiscipline. You understand? Just it cut across all the corrupt artists and the waste issue. That time in Nigeria, if you if you want to urinate, and then you are maybe on the street, you just have to, you'll be comfortable to piss on your body. That will just mess up with the stuff, because we have to warn against a discipline brigade then that will treat your fuck up if you don't comply or abide by the rules and regulations. So we have National Environmental Sanitation and Waste Control. We also have Nigeria National Climate Action Plans. This is a new stuff, because now climate change is not a burning issue, it's a global issue as well. And if you look at it now, this plastic issue is also captured under the National Climate Nigeria National Climate Action Plans. Plastic issue is well captured here. And then if you look at it, this is just like a subsidiary of a nationally determined contribution in which Nigeria is also part of the signatories. Then we have National Circular Economy Roadmap. The previous speaker said something about circular economy. We know we have this economy. We have linear one and then we have circular one. When you're talking about linear, just like a straight like this, you use and then you dump. You understand? That's why I think that is the idea of use and dump. You use and then that thing becomes useless. You understand? After you have used it. But we're talking about circular economy. Circular economy is that you use, then you try to reuse it. Until you reduce it. No, sorry about reuse, and then you try to make sure that you try to use it again until that particular thing turns to the present former state. That is raw material. You understand? It gets to a stage that immediately you want to drop it or call it waste. Other organizations, they will still make use of it as their raw material. That's circle. You understand? That's the idea of circular economy. That it starts from point A, it goes like this, and then back to point A. That's circular. But for the linear, it's just like you use it and you dump it. So that linear economy is unsustainable economy. That's why today we have what we call, in Nigeria, we have what we call National Circular Economy Roadmap. That is, every waste that you are using, the country, the industry, the company see it as raw materials, and then they turn it to maybe the useful form. By the time you are done with it, it gets back to the company as what? As raw materials. That's what the National Circular Economy Roadmap is all about. Then we look at the solution because of our time. We're talking about strategic plastic solutions. There is no single solution if you want to talk about solutions. But let's just look at the holistic solutions if you don't really want to fight single plastic use. The first one has to do with, we need to strengthen our institutions. You know, I said it in the beginning that one of the challenges we are having is weak institutions. But Africa, Ghana, Nigeria, we really need to work on our governments, we need to work on what? On strengthening our weak institutions. The problem we are having in the third world is that of institution. In America, if we are like Donald Trump, if Donald Trump messes up, the institution will deal with him. You know what happened to him during his first time? You understand? So their law doesn't respect, or laws do not respect anybody. You understand? If you fuck up, law will treat your fuck up. But in Africa here, we have weak institutions. We have some people that are even above the laws. You understand? They do away with whatever they want to do because we see them as big boys. The same thing happened even in Nigeria. If a poor man drop a waste, maybe along the roadside, immediately the people marshal in charge of waste, they will arrest him. But just see a man in a jeep throw something out of the jeep engine car, nobody will just look, and even they will salute him because they see him as someone that is above the law. So we need to really strengthen our institution and ensure that we strengthen them so that they can be effective. You understand? Then we look at foster collaboration. You know, the first speaker said something that I really like. He said there is need for awareness, not awareness alone, because I used to tell people that everybody knows what is good, except we want to deceive ourselves. Like, let's assume this oil now. This oil is smelly. All of us we know, we find it difficult to sit here. Just to tell you that we know what is good. But we are comfortable here because we are enjoying the serenity of this oil. Now, that's one talking about awareness. We all know what is, but we just need to educate. We need to move beyond awareness. We need to educate. And in order to get that one right, What we just need to foster a kind of collaboration among CSOs, that's civil society organization, just like what you are doing, and the state and the federal government. I don't know how they run things here in Accra, but in Nigeria we have the state, and then we have the federal, we have the local government. So there should be a kind of collaboration among all those 3 tiers of government, so that CSO, they do a lot of education. State government, they ensure that they strengthen the institution. The federal government, they ensure that, okay, they uphold the laws that is guiding all this waste stuff. Then another one, this one is somehow is a little bit because of political will. Some African leaders, they don't have that political will to really phase out single-use plastic. Now I told you what really happened in Nigeria. There was a particular time the state in Nigeria said they want to phase out single-use plastic. You know what happened, the kind of issues that associated with it, that people okay, we will make sure that we will not vote for your party and when it comes to during the election. So, but the solution is that we need to phase it out. And the other one has to do with recycling initiative. You know, personally, there was a particular time I did a project, and we concluded that recycling just looked like a false solution, because it will get to a time, though it's good for us in Africa, because even if Europe is 100 meters ahead of us, that is normal. They are advanced, we are just coming up. But in Africa, if we really want to stick to the solution, we really need to phase out the use of plastic. But this is something that is doable. I used to ask people, this is something that we can do. It's something we can do because before, we are not used to this plastic. I know when I'm not that old, but when I was in primary school, it's plastic, you don't see it anyhow. You understand? But now, if you look at all the drainage system in Nigeria today, you go to Nigeria, you look at the drainage system. What you see there, plenty, is what? Plastic. You understand? So, recycling is just what I said, that recycling might look like solution, but it's not that a solution that we should promote as CSO. Because it will get to a time, like now, companies are using plastic, Coca-Cola, Nestle of the world, they are using plastic. Let's assume they are producing like 100 tons. How many of them are you going to recycle? So that's why recycling is not a sustainable solution. I did a lot of studies on it, on this particular issue. And then we concluded that recycling is just like a temporary solution. But we still need to talk about it. Then we need to align with signed plastic waste. Don't forget, we are talking about strategic, not just solution, strategic one that will be like a takeaway for all of us here. That okay, if we cannot go with all this, let me just take one and work on it as an organization. So we're talking about align with signed. Let me tell you, we have a lot of international treaties that Nigeria, Ghana, we've signed. Some of these treaties, our leaders, they sign it because they are mentally lazy. They have signed it before even they really realize what is inside the treaties. You understand? You know that if you want to fake Africa, just give them a bulk document. Before if we get tired, we just sign at the back. Because people just look at all those like 150 pages. You understand? But in Africa here, in Nigeria, Ghana, we are signatory to many international treaties. Like that of Basel, that of Stockholm, that of Bamako, that of London, a lot. Even we have African Agenda 2063. Majority of African leaders, they've signed it. Unfortunately, all of them, they stress more on the plastic stuff. But how many of these countries are sticking to all these treaties? Yeah. Then last but not least, that one has to do with embrace the circular economy model. You know, we talk about this one. But how many countries now, how many African countries are really developed to the extent that they can produce waste and then the waste will go around and then come back to be a kind of raw material? How many of them? First, like a country like South Africa or maybe Egypt and maybe one of them again. Even Nigeria, we cannot even embrace the circular economy because how many industries or companies do we really have? But it's a model that can work. You understand? That every country needs to embrace and stick to. Then the question that I want to ask all of us is that is zero plastic waste something that is achievable? Is it something that we can achieve? That's the question I want to ask us. Is it something that we can achieve? If it's something that we can achieve, maybe you can just let us know. Or if it's something that you cannot achieve, just let us know so that we can just use like a minute to deliberate on this. Is this something that we can achieve? I'm asking us. Okay, sir.
I'll be speaking about the zero plastic waste. I've made a lot of research on my own to really realize that it's something we cannot achieve, maybe for this generation. Even when you go abroad, you study the system and all of that, you can still see that. Well, we can try to manage or minimize it. That is what I say about it. Thank you.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. Zero plastic waste is achievable if we are intentional, if you have a genuine intention towards it. But the other thing that will not make it achievable is the instability in the government policy. Our government should endeavor to provide mechanisms that will curb a lot of environmental hazard. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. I would like to give little insight as regards to the question if it's going to be possible that we'll have zero plastic waste. To me, I find it practically impossible to have zero plastic waste. So, but I believe what we need to do is the proper waste management, for the plastic waste, because when we talk about plastic waste, it's cut across every industry, from medical plastic waste to household and all the rest. So the solution to me is about the management. So, and if we look at the last INC, the INC 5.2 in Geneva, Switzerland, that they just finished in August, in which it's an international treaty, and they are trying to bring up all countries all around the whole world to talk about the issue of plastic pollution and to sign an agreement. So it's ended without any concrete agreement, as because of a lot of EU. Some they were talking about capping of plastic waste, while some is talking about management of plastic waste. So, and the EU still continues and it goes on. So that is it. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Maybe I think we should put our hands together for all the three. Yeah, it is achievable if we really want to achieve it. It is not achievable. We don't want it to work. You understand? Now, if you look at it, we have what we call business as usual. That you see some big countries. Well, the issue of climate change and the issue of waste plastic stuff is a big issue. And then it's just as if, I don't want to go into religious aspect, like David is fighting Goliath. The Goliath we are fighting in this industry, they are big companies. You understand? They have money, more than enough resources to really make sure that this thing doesn't work. Because if you now want to phase out single-use plastic, what will happen to the Coca-Cola of the world? You understand? What will happen to Nestle of the world? You understand? It's as if you want to take their means of livelihood out of their waste. You understand? So all these just like the issue of energy, like Shell of the world, the Mobil, the Total, you understand? These big companies, they are fighting back. It's as if we are fighting corruption, and corruption is fighting you back. Just like the same thing. But I think even the government, you see that what happened in Geneva. You see a big event like Hope. Now, I was in a meeting sometimes in Nigeria that the organization that sponsored the event is the organization that they want to fight. You want to fight me and I'm sponsoring your event. You can find it difficult that, okay, even if you want to talk, just look at the banner like this. You really don't know how to talk because the organization that is sponsoring your event is the one that you want to talk about. You understand? So that makes it kind of messy rather. So this is achievable. But it's achievable for third world country. But where are the resources? Nigeria now want to phase out single use of plastic. Okay, where are the alternatives? You understand? So those are the big issues that people really need to work on. So it's something that is achievable because if we have strong institutions, we have government that is sincere, we have civil society that is sincere. You understand? And then another next thing now is that if you see society now, we are somehow divided. You see some organization that is working on pro, some organization will work on cons. You understand that what I mean by pros and cons is that some organizations are lifting it, some organizations are drawing it back. That no, it's not like that. Like the issue of GMO. You see some big NGO, CSO that is supporting GMO because they are getting money from donor to really work on that issue of GMO. So the same thing is happening in this respect as well. But it's something that is doable. It's something that we can achieve if we all put our hands or join our hands together. I think it will work for the best of the populace. So I really want to thank you, and I want us to progress on this trajectory. Thank you so much.
In line will be from Habitable Health Organization. Mrs. Busayo Ajayi from Habitable Health Organization. So she will be presenting on ecosystem and circular plastic solution. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
I welcome you all to this presentation. And I'm Ajayi Busayo, representing Habitable Health Organization, international organization from Nigeria. Good afternoon, everyone. Yes, I'm Ajayi Busayo, representing Habitable Health International Organization from Nigeria, and we are here hosted by Pan-African Health Professional Organization here in Ghana. We thank you for hosting us, and also we are partnering with Kejibaus Youth Development Initiative, also from Nigeria. So today I'll be talking about ecosystem and circular plastic solution. First, I would like us to understand ecosystem, but the simplest definition is anything you can see on the earth. So far is on the earth is ecosystem. I mean, both animal, plants, even the non-living organism. I mean, the sand, the water, everything comprises of ecosystem. And also the definition on the screen is an ecosystem is a community of living organisms in conjunction with the non-living components of their environment interacting as a system. Okay, the next one is the threat of plastic pollution to ecosystem. As we can see from this picture, is plastic waste, the waste on the sea, I mean the water, and it was reported that we have over 4 million tons of waste, I mean plastic waste produced annually, and over 8 million tons ends up in oceans. And the effect of this is that we know inside the ocean we have different types of organisms, and the organisms there, they are not there. they are there not they are there for different reasons. I mean, they help us as human beings. We know we have the fish, we have different types of fish which we feed on, and if we don't do anything about the waste, I mean the waste in the ocean, it can, or the fishes can, all the fish in the ocean, they end up dying, and it affects other non-living organisms as well, I mean the plants, because it reduces the oxygen inside the water and so many other negative effects. Then the next one I would like to talk about is circular solution economy. Okay. So we have linear economy, where it says the first thing is, okay, let's say for example the plastic water we take. I don't know about how it's done here in Ghana, but in Nigeria, when we buy plastic water or plastic takeaways, we buy it, we make use of it, then use it, and it goes into the waste bin. And from there, it goes into the water, the fresh water, the ocean, and different things that affect our health and the health of living organisms inside the water as well. Then we have recycling economy, where when the plastic is being produced, we make use of it. Sometimes it can be recycling or it goes into the waste. So either of the two. Because okay, it's from the waste bin. There are some people in Nigeria that they pick the plastic or all these plastic bottles or some other bottles that they use, or those industry like plastic takeaway plates. So there are people that will go and pick them from probably inside the water or the bigger waste bin. Then it gets recycling. We have circular economy, and that's the best. And that's what, if it's achievable, if circular economy is achievable, that's where we can reach zero waste. When it is manufactured, we make use of it. After being used, it gets reused. Then, or if it's broken, it can be repaired to use. Some people can use it for another thing, like which I will show in the few slides from now. Or it can be recycling and make use of it again to make another thing, to make another product. Then what is a circular plastic solution? A system where plastic is reused, repaired, manufactured, or recycled rather than discarded. And what are the key principles? Number one is to design out waste and pollution. I mean, what it means is that you have to design out what can work for each region. Like what can work in Nigeria might not work in Ghana. So that's what that means. Then keep products and materials in use. Like if you buy a material, a plastic material, what it means that you have to use it for another thing. Not that after single use you throw it inside the bin, which goes into the ocean and some other fresh water bodies. Then we generate natural system. What it means is that instead of using plastic, we can use those products that are biodegradable. I mean, products that can decompose. They can get decomposed after maybe 1 year or 2 years, unlike plastic that takes like 400 years, over 400 years to decompose, which is not favorable to the environment. Okay, as we can see in this picture, there are some countries in Europe that they use this kind of system where after maybe buying a bottle of water, after drinking from the plastic, there's a place, a particular station that is there every time. Like they go there to drop the plastic where they even get paid from doing so. So it encourages people to do that, because if there's no incentive, people cannot continue to do things, and it's just a way of encouraging people to keep recycling and doing the right thing. Then the next one is advanced recycling. We have chemical recycling and biodegradable plastic. Chemical means when there are some chemicals that can actually make the plastic to decompose, and that's if it's biodegradable, if it can get decomposed, because there are some that no matter what you put on it, then nothing can be done. Then we have producer responsibility. I mean, those companies that are producing things using plastic, they can do a program. There's a program that is extended producer responsibility policies. These are policies that the producers, they have to do to make sure that the plastic they are producing goes back into their factories to be used to produce some other things. And the next one is consumer behavior. This awareness and responsible consumption on the part of the consumer. After using the plastic, as we saw in the previous picture, they have to take it to where it can be deposited to be recycled. The innovation about plastic reuse model, like this picture, is a type of reuse model. Like after using the plastic to drink water or to do anything that is inside the content, after using the contents, they can use it to maybe plant, do some other things. So it makes it more reusable. Then we have real world examples like Unilever. There are some plastic that it can be refillable. Refillable packaging pilot program. There are some plastic that, for example, seaway water. I mean the big one. After using it, we take it back to in Nigeria. We take it back to the company. They have outlets that we take it back. Then it is taken to the company by them to be refilled. Water will be refilled inside them. The consumer use it again. So the cycle continues like that. Then we have Coca-Cola. There's a program let me call it a campaign by Coca-Cola. The campaign is just about by 2030 there will be zero waste. So people go around, like in Nigeria, there are people that go around to pick the littered plastic. So they take it back to the company to be used. Then, ecosystem benefits of circular plastic models. What are the benefits of circular plastic models? The first benefit is reduced pollution. You know, if the litter plastic are picked, so there will be reduced pollution on the land, both the land and on water. And then there will be improved biodiversity, which is, you know, when we talk about ecosystem, we have plants, human being, water. So if there is less pollution, I mean plastic pollution, we can easily interact like nature provided. Then the next one is sustainable resource use. If there is less plastic pollution, the fish, as I gave the example I gave earlier, there will be enough fish for us to sustain us to eat. Then healthier communities, the community will be friendly, the water will be clean. Then lower carbon emission, there will be less burning of plastic. Then what can we do? That's call to action. As individuals, we can use plastic, we use it again, or bottles, containers for different things. as we saw in the previous picture where it was used to plant. Then we can sort and recycle correctly. I mean, there are places in Nigeria whereby they sort plastic, and we saw it earlier when we came also around somewhere that we went to around the northern region of Ghana, where we saw that they were sorting out plastic from different colors, white, yellow. We saw that, which we also do in Nigeria. As institution, what can be done? Invest in recycling infrastructures. I mean, things that the government can do to, like the picture we saw earlier where there was a stand where people went to drop things. So it's part of the infrastructure that can be produced and made available. Then adopt sustainable procurement policies. They educate and encourage communities. Like as we are doing here, I know that Pan-African professional here in Ghana, we still go around the community to educate people, to make awareness and enlighten them about what they can do to encourage people to recycling their plastic waste and also to pick the plastic for companies to use. The conclusion: ecosystem are under threats from plastic pollution, and we can all do this. No one organization can do it. I mean, we can only collaborate to do it, because Habitable Earth Organization alone can do it. Kejibaus alone can do it, and Pan-African Earth Organization cannot do it alone. So we have to collaborate to do it, to make it effective. The circular plastic solution offer a sustainable pathway forward. If the plastic can be used, taken, reused, recycled, then use the material again, then the pollution will be reduced. Then everyone has a role, from individual to companies. So what we need to do is that it's not only we cannot leave everything to the companies or the industries or the government to do it. We have to play our parts as individuals, community, also the companies. So thank you for listening.
Is President Tuadoremi, the president of Kejibaus Youth Development Initiative from Accra, Nigeria. I haven't heard what our speaker had let us know about the topic they have chosen. I would like to know from her that how do they believe that is bringing the solution to that effect will be effective? Is it by getting much network to work with them, or by relating to the government of the city of which they have come from? Thank you.
Okay. It can be effective if both the consumer, the companies, and the governments work in hands. Because if we leave everything to the governments, they can't do everything. Because to get people to pick the plastic, or if the consumer do not go to the point where they are meant to dispose the refuse, it won't be effective. Unlike if the company, the consumer, and the government will work together, then it can be achieved. Any other question?
Thank you so much. Yeah, in absence of any other questions, can we jam our hand again for Mrs. Thank you so much for enlightening us about the circular economy as regards to plastic solution and the awareness and why we need to collaborate, both CSOs, private and government institutions, why we have to collaborate to bring an end to this menace of plastic pollution, for a better future for all of us. So I would like to welcome our President of Kejibaus Youth Development Initiative in person of Ambassador Prince Aderemi Adetoro for his presentation. So he will be talking about the next generation and the digital plastic solution. Thank you.
It's a great event. The International Collaborative Program on Plastic Solutions. Firstly, I salute the encouragement given to the visiting organization, that is Kejibaus Youth Development Initiative and Habitable Health International Organization from Nigeria, that put up this great forum to be useful for our societies, communities, and the generation to come. Yeah, I'll be speaking on the next generation and the digital solution. Firstly, I would like to emphasize on what is meant by the next generation on this own account. The issue of environment and the plastic issues is never a regional problem. It is a global phenomenon, which means this generation could not solve it. We need to involve the next generation, what is on ground to them to tackle or take after. And as we have it, we are at the stage of digital era. So that is why we could combine the next generation and the digital plastic solution together. Yeah, the introduction, it is a great honor to stand before you today on behalf of Kejibaus Youth Development Initiative at this collaborative conference, the plastic solution. This gathering is not just a meeting, it is a movement for change, a call to action to address one of the greatest environmental challenges of our time. We have an age where plastic have become part of our daily lives, but their impact on our planet cannot be ignored. Our rivers, our stream, and even the food we eat are now affected by the waste we create. The question is no longer who will solve these problems, but rather how can we all become part of the solution. Yeah, what we're saying today here now is that we just found we just found ourselves in this situation. However, we cannot be apportioning blame. Who caused it? Who is to solve it? Who is involved and who is not involved? Like the last speaker from Habitable Health International Organization from Nigeria said the other time that we are all involved in the ecosystem. So we have to just find a solution, begin a solution with it. That is all we meant by that. Then today I will be sharing ideas on two powerful tips that hold the key to change. The next generation and the digital plastic solution. Because the future is in the hand of our youth and technology is their strongest tools. Like I've said before, we need to, from now, get into the gathering of the youth, involving them on what is on ground for them. They might not know it, but he is here living with us already. And the Nigeria as a case study, we have the larger population, the youth larger population in Nigeria is quite much. And we believe the youth are the engine room of any nation. So that energetic stage of their life, they need to involve in solving solutions, in bringing solutions in several ways of life. Because knowledge is power and awareness is the first step towards transformation. Like I've said, they need to know what is obtainable, what they are in for, and digitally I know our youth across Africa, they are sound. We need to direct them on how to digitalize to bring out the solution for several issues, tackling us in Africa. I know of the Western world that they are there already. They are fighting it. But our youth in Africa, in Nigeria, in Ghana, in Zimbabwe, most of those youth, they don't really know where to channel their energy. And the plastic solution or the environment is part of it, which we should have a way or platform to really create or to be creating avenue for this youth to have, their say, to bring about solution, to create a formidable environment for all of us. Now the next generation and the tools and the digital plastic solution. So why does the next generation matter? Yeah, because young people are the future leaders, innovators, and problem solvers in Africa. Over 50% of our population is under 25 years old. This is powerful force for change. If we want a cleaner planet, we should empower young people with digital tools, skills, and opportunity. Well, I will tell you this page. If we really want, why their matter is that they are the energetic forum or energetic equilibrium part of the society. And we should be linking our youth in a positive direction in solving plastic solution to other continents. I'm talking about internationally. The knowledge should be interwoven. They should learn from other peers internationally what their youth is doing in solving several solutions, in bringing several solutions, or in solving issues regarding the plastic issues and the environment. That is what we should be doing to our youth. Otherwise, they will challenge their energetic muscles to other things entirely that could bring a negative impact to the society. Then, what is the digital plastic solution? It means using technology to manage and reduce plastic waste. For example, mobile apps that renew people for recycling, social media campaign, and create awareness. Data system and track plastic usage can help communities act. This page explains what is the digital plastic solution. It means using technology the technology we're even talking about is the Android phone, those smartphones, iPhone and all that is enough for doing this within our youth. Then we have some plastic plants or recycling plants that they do reward for getting those reuse items, the plastic reuse item. When you go through that, they pay you for whatsoever you do. Then the social media campaign that create awareness. Yes, at every point in time, they can go through their media handles to say something about the environment, the plastic solution, just there, instead of them to be just doing something that might not even get a meaningful thing to the society. So this is what we should let them know. This is what we should be teaching them, that they should be, grooming themselves for the task ahead. So the data system that tracks plastic usage and helps community is the same thing under what I've explained, that by handling the apps, we have a lot of companies I know of Lagos, but in Accra that I've come from in Nigeria, nothing like such for now. But I know this in Lagos, in other cities, maybe in Port Harcourt, at least for almost 10 years now. But that has not been happening where I came from. However, and this should be, this gesture, because it is a good gesture, should be spreading across the region, and other innovative ideas from the youth or from us to the youth should be spreading across to get them involved in the solution platform. Then, how can youth lead? Through innovative, creating smart recycling solution. To teach community about waste through entrepreneurship, turning plastic waste into business opportunity, like making useful products from recycled plastic. All these are good, but how can youth really lead? There are some capacity in the society, especially for those of us that are involved in the environmental solution issue or plastic solution issue. Is the same thing? We should be creating a unit for them. They might not be perfect. That unit will bring out the boldness in them, the trust in them. So they will be able to leverage on that to be useful for themselves and to the society. So that is how they could lead. If they don't know anything or knowledge about all these things we've been speaking about, those speakers that they have spoken before me, there is no way they can, be leading. You can only lead in what you've passed through, what you've gone through, what you've experienced. You can only lead in doing that. You cannot just come up one day and be a leader or lead of anything. So, and if those youth cannot lead now, if they cannot take up the mantle now, I'm not sure there's something good that's going to come out in the next generation. They should start from now so they can lead their various communities, nations, or continents. Yes, we talk about the awareness, the knowledge-driven plastics solution the other time. As you can see here, this is Kejibaus community outreach. This is in Accra, Ondo State, Nigeria. This is me here, and some of our guys working together. I think this should be World Environment Day. That is from us also. We've gone around the city in Accra, Nigeria, to emphasize the need and the essence. You need to be intentional of whatever you are doing. Plastic solution now needs to be intentional from everybody, inclusive the youth. So why the awareness important? Because many people still do not fully understand the danger, plastic pollution, the dangers of plastic solution. It affects earth, microplastic in our food and water. There was a time I came from overseas then in Lagos, because I had to touch down in Lagos before going to my state. Then when I got to a popular mall in Lagos, I was asked to pay for the container, the package, which wasn't like that before I left. Then they were explaining why the effect of it could affect us, and Lagos Ministry of Health how to stop it. So whoever that is found guilty of that will be penalized in that. So that is technically a plastic solution relating to health matters. And in Nigeria, I've not seen any here in Ghana. Maybe because I've not moved around like that. We have not bottled water this time, sachet water. When you have your sachet water for a very long time, and you take the water in the drinking water, it could, get to a healthy issue that could land you to hospital or clinic. So it is advisable that is when you give the sachet water in a stuffy or sunny area of a very long time, it's not advisable for you to drink or to take again. So environment, flooding and all that, a lot, look, you can see a heap lot of these things like this. Most of the places in Nigeria, let's say in Accra, most of the places you see this heap inside or in the drainages. So before you know it, flooding everywhere. That is man-made flooding system in Nigeria. So we used to go out and tell them, don't dump all this thing into, because we still have Ministry of Environment, Waste Management Board under the Ministry of Environment that are still taking care. It might not be enough of those things, but people, the community dwellers, they don't really know the effect of just dumping illicitly on the drainages. It causes a lot of things to our environment. So we go around at times, we do park a lot by ourselves and trash them. But we do tell them, because we cannot be there every moment, we do tell them, this is not good, this is not right, this is how you should do it. Even though government provide several locations for us to be dumping, people don't really see it as an important thing for them. So the economy, dirty environment, driving away tourism and investment. Yes. In recent time, the present President of Federal Republic of Nigeria said something that we should be able to provide a habitable, let me use the word from my other partner, a habitable environment for our tourism to thrive. That is, clean environment, infrastructures, greener environment. That is how our environment could thrive. You cannot expect the Western people coming to Africa or coming to Nigeria as a case study, or Ghana as a case study, to see the dirty environment. Apart from this, it's not good at sightseeing, it's not good, it's hazardous to one's health. So all this, we let people know about them, we create awareness about those things, and we have our youth department at some of the secondary schools to undo that. Okay. Knowledge-driven solutions. Knowledge-driven solution means education first before knowledge. Change behaviors. We need community training in schools, churches, markets, and social groups. Campaigns and workshops to teach, reduce, reuse, recycle. Well, this is also the same, the last page I've spoken about, and we are trying to do this, reach out the schools, which we've been doing. But honestly, we have not reached to any church. But the school, the market, and the social group, we have been trying to do this for a very long time. You can see the picture here that tells a little about what we've done so far. So we have practical actions for everyone. Reduce useless plastic. Reuse, give plastic items a second life. Recycle, separate your waste, and support recycling businesses. Yes, reduce use less plastic, and reuse is almost the same. I remember whenever I go to a shopping or supermarket in overseas, I do go through this first one, but there was a time I asked, they will ask you, have you brought any bag from, they increase, for us to be bringing bag for reused. I think the new one you would like to buy, maybe from 2 cents to €1 or $1, to encourage you to be bringing the one you are using before, until it gets back to the business sector again. And I think we can do that here. And this separate your waste and all that. We don't really have those refuge collectors in Nigeria. In overseas, we had maybe on Tuesday, a group of people or a group of organizations or environmental business or platform might come from just nylon on Tuesday. Another, let's say Thursday, some of them might come from plastic. So that is how they do that. And if you mix them together, you go to a place like Canada and UK, you are going to be fined for that. And you whenever you go at their mall, city center, you see them just placing it exactly like this. This is for this, this is for this, this is for. So that idea need to be inculcated in our society, in Africa, both in Ghana, everywhere in Africa. Yes. So in conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, plastic pollution, it is just an environmental issue. It is not just an environmental issue, pardon me. It is a generational responsibility. The decision we make today will shape the world our children inherit tomorrow. If we can empower the next generation with digital tools and equipped communities with knowledge, then the problem becomes the solution and the waste becomes wet. Together, let us choose action over excuses, solutions over silence. Let us build a future where plastic no longer threatens our environment, but becomes a resource for innovative. The time is now. The power is in our hands, and the solution begins with us. Thank you. So, any questions?
Yeah, actually, mine is not a question, but it's just just a reminder to what Prince and George said. And sincerely speaking, I want us to really understand that youth, especially in Africa, where we have more than 70% of African, we are youth, or let's say they are youth, because I'm getting it about that age now. So 70% of African population, they are youth, according to United Nations. So just to buttress on what the Prince said, that we cannot do without carrying this particular segment of our population along when we really want to fight out plastic use of plastic, single plastic use. And then that's why I just want to urge all the partnering organizations that in all our organizations, we should ensure that we make sure that we have a unit, just like in Kejibaus. Make sure you have a unit whereby you can educate youth for this particular assignment. So it's not, as we are educating youth, we also try to educate the media, because one of the things that I realized in most of our activities that Nigerian media, I don't know about Ghanaian media, some of them, they find it difficult to really report environmental issues. They can report political issues effectively, but when it comes to environmental issues, maybe because of the terminologies, environmental terms, they find it difficult. And then you cannot blame them, don't teach them. So we really need to ensure that we carry them along. And then this is a digital age. The only medium that youth normally subscribe to now is social media. And then it's just like, although social media, it has its own disadvantage, but we can use it to our advantages. You understand? So that's why if we really want like use of coding, using of AI, which is kind of contemporary stuff now, if we make sure we tune, their brains still very young and fresh. If we really ensure that if we really tailor their activities in line with environmental issues, just to provide solution, I think youth can be a better segment to really contribute favorably to this particular cause that we are fighting for. Thank you so much, please.
Thank you for the contribution. Thank you very much. On this note, in the absence of any other questions, we say thank you to everyone. Thank you very much. Thank you.
A lot of activities as regard to our collaborative discussions. Providing solution to plastic waste or plastic pollutions across Africa and the globe at large. So, like what Prince Sheyi said from Kejibaus as regards to youth participation in climate change activities, and especially as regards to plastic solution, part of the strategy we are trying to put in place is as a result of what brings about these collaborations, and we are looking to expand it, and I don't know if you check Pan-African Professional Organization website, so you will see partner with us, so it's free, so you can register your organization, and we are looking into the before the year runs to an end or first quarter of next year, so we are looking to have a very large organizations all across Africa. So we wish we will be having a more collaborative effort like this to disseminate information as regards to plastic solution. Thank you. So in absence of this, we'll be doing our own presentation as regards to plastics solution on public health. So I don't know, or maybe I think I will still introduce myself as Adewale Olakunle, President, Pan-African Professional Organization. So I will be needing some few minutes of your time to present about the issue of plastic pollution and the public health. Thank you. You are all welcome. I believe we are having a friendly weather today in Accra, Ghana, and I believe you are all enjoying your stay. So once again, I'm Adewale Olakune from Pan-Africa Professional Organization. You are all welcome once again. So we'll be talking about the plastic solution. About this collaboration, which is the Plastic Solution and International Collaborative Forum. And we'll be mainly discussing about public health and human-centric plastic solution. That is, we're trying to discuss the issue of plastic pollutions, the effect on our environment, the effect on the public health system, across Africa, and the way forward. And we're trying to see solutions that we can provide to it, using the expertise and the knowledge we're having nowadays as regards to the issue of plastic pollutions across all our ways. Okay, a collective who we are trying to introduce what PAHPO is all about. I think some of us here, it's all about health. Most of our activities is all about health. Well, we are a very relatively new organization, but not quite new. But what brings about Pan-Africa is actually COVID-19. So that is what brought about the idea of having Pan-Africa a professional organization. So we are a collective of health professionals across Africa and the globe of Africa origin. So in as much you are an African origin, you belong to us. So irrespective of your profession, you're a doctor, you're a nurse, irrespective, in as much as you work as a health practitioner. So we are united by a common mission to improve community health and well-being, of Africans and the rest of the world. Next, so we are united to bridge the gap between Africa healthcare system and other continents through advanced innovation, research, discovery, and unity among healthcare professionals from African countries for the development of Africa. So actually, our strength lies in our extensive membership and research capabilities. Currently, we have more than 25,000 members, health practitioners across Africa and diaspora. So PAHPO network extends across all regions of Africa and beyond. So our member includes doctors, and in as much you are an health practitioners, you belong to us, and we can fight for this common purpose together. The public health crisis. Plastic pollution is a public health crisis. Like what our previous presenter have discussed, from the issue of plastic pollution to environmental crisis, that is the issue of climate change as it relates to our well-being and our daily activities. All these things are directly linked to our health. The public health is one of the very, very important things that we can't take with a levity hand, and because we also what happened during COVID-19. So to prevent the next pandemic, it is high time we take the issue of plastic pollutions very, very serious. So plastic pollution is no longer just an environmental issue. It poses direct threats to human health, and a true solution must protect the most vulnerable. Virtually everyone is vulnerable to plastic pollution. That is it. Virtually everyone. Even in advanced countries, they talk of microplastics, in food, in our water system, and all the rest. So virtually everyone is vulnerable to it. So that is it. So respiratory issues linked to open burning of plastic waste microplastic found in our food and water system, and chemical exposure as well. So health risk from lynching plastic and chemical addictive. So that is it. So this is a plastic debris along a road. As in one of our outings, we pick these pictures, snap. So solution, and the truth is that we, the human, we are the one living on earth. We are the one that brings about these plastic pollutions. We are the one contributing to it, not even contributing. We are the one causing plastic pollution. So at the same time, we are the one to bring solutions, to this problem. So that is why we title it a human-centric approach. So prioritizing human health in all plastic solution strategy. One of what we advocate for, especially, we've attended INC4 in Canada. We attended INC5 in South Korea, in which Pan-African Professional Organization presented and we give a speech, I think it's been documented by UNEP, if you check their website, so in which we talk about the health effect of plastic pollution and how we can solve this issue. So, and those are the way we try to see how we can, prioritizing public health. During the last item in Canada, we advocate to the UNEP so that in the treaty they are planning to sign, they should put health, they should put health into consideration, especially public health. So into consideration in most of the plastic treaty, they are trying to sign. So especially, we all know there are a lot of medical waste, plastic medical waste, thousands, tens, hundreds of thousands of plastic medical waste are being generated every year across the whole world. And we can't just phase these things out, just like that. Because, for example, like needle and syringe, you can't use the same syringe for 2 patients. You understand? So because of communicable diseases and all the rest. So how are we going to go about this? And you can't just, after you use it, you have to go and sterilize. It's not visible. So that is it. So we need to bring up innovative ways, on how to manage medical waste, plastic medical waste. So advocacy for policies that protect vulnerable populations, providing a safe working environment for all stakeholders. So, for example, advocacy calling for a ban on microbeads in cosmetic product infrastructure, promoting safe waste to energy initiative to eliminate toxic fumes, health and safety, providing safety equipment and training for informal waste workers. For example, we went to the recyclable center we went to in the Kasoa today. We could see that most of the workers there, some of them, they were actually working without covering their nose or something like that, and not the rest. And even when they are grinding the stuff, we believe that there could be some particles, coming up from the grinding, or machine. So all these things can still pose a threat to the health of these workers. So we try to encourage them to use face masks and to protect themselves from the plastic waste. So the power of awareness, and we can't. The main thing about plastic solution, as in if we want to provide a plastic solution, to me, the first thing we need to know is that you can't just go to a common man on the road and say, let's talk about plastic pollutions, plastic solutions. You just be looking at you. What are you talking about? How is plastic affecting me? So that is it. So people need to be aware the danger of indiscriminate dumping of plastic waste along the gutters, along the road, on the rivers, the sea, and all the rest. So, and burning of plastics. Do you understand? So we need to be aware of the danger of what we are doing. And how can we be aware of this? one of the priority that we have to do is we have to create that massive awareness. We have to let people know why they should stop burning plastic, why they should stop indiscriminate dumping of plastic refuse. So PAHPO serves as a trusted source of information. Knowledge is the most powerful tool for behavioral changes. Informed communities are empowered to become part of solution. Trusted voices, health workers are respected in their community. Network reach, PAHPO extensive membership enable information to be shared. How are we promoting solutions, human-centric solution to plastic pollution? One of our primary way of doing that is this: forming collaboration with sisters, CSOs all across Africa, having a discussion forum on how to, provide solution to plastic pollution, and at the same time using our network of thousands of membership across, we are also disseminating and also having webinar on how we can come up with innovative ways, in managing medical plastic waste and reducing medical plastic waste across Africa as well. So, next slide. So, solutions: spreading knowledge and empowering communities, translate scientific data into simple, actionable guidance, utilize technology to reach wide audience. For example, we use Telegram most time for our webinar. Mobile campaigns, launching public health campaigns via mobile phone using infographic, plastic resin code, community guides, advocacy tools, PAHPO, and this awareness on World Environmental Day. This is one of our outings with Habitable Earth International Organization on World Environmental Day. This is last year, World Environmental Day. So in which we went to oceans, in partnership with them. We went to an ocean to pick up a lot of plastic waste, along the line of oceans and do cleaning up and all the rest. So to create awareness. So this is part of the way to create awareness. Imagine you see a lot of people dressing completely and all the rest, and they were picking plastics along the line. So it says, it gives a sense of awareness to people that, so that is it. So this is part of our strategy of reducing plastic waste, and creating awareness along the line to everyone across Africa. So conclusion: a united front for a healthier future. We advocate educators, researchers, and communicators. As in, we are advocates, educators, researchers, and communicators. We are committed to building a world where people are equipped to drive a change to end plastic pollution. So that is part of our objectives, and that is why we take part in most of RNC, that is UNEP, plastic treaty solutions as regards to NGO, and that is why we are reaching out to other NGOs across Africa to see how we can push the government, push individuals, in other NGOs, and to educate and elaborate and form policies, as in how to push government on how to formulate a policy for a better plastic waste management all across Africa, so that we can end the menace of plastic pollution. Thank you for listening. Any question, please?
Thanks so much for that beautiful presentation. My concern is that of medical waste. I just want to know, maybe because one of the difficult area when it comes to waste management, that one has to do with medical waste. As an organization, what are you doing, or what is your maybe a kind of ways that you think medical waste could be managed properly?
Yes, thank you so much for the questions. Yes, there are several ways. Let me say, from time immemorial that medical waste has been managed, based on the medical settings. When we talk of the third world country, second world country, and advanced countries, the way individual manage their medical waste were a bit different. Or for example, in advanced country, we have kind of centralized waste disposal mechanism. So unlike here, individual hospitals or laboratories, or research testings, you have to, find ways to discard. You have to find ways to incinerate your own medical waste. So, for example, we talk of incineration and all the rest, but at the same time, we have a research team in Pan-Africa, a professional organization, and part of what we are trying to do in the nearest future, and it's part of our research agenda. So by 2030, so part of what we are trying to do is we want to see more innovative ways in which we can reduce medical plastic waste, and more innovative ways in which reducing plastic waste, like I said, a more innovative way on how to manage medical plastic waste, all across Africa using our own technology. So that is it. So that is what we are looking at. Thank you. Any more questions, please?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for the presentation, sir. I want to ask, can medical waste be recycled like the other waste that can be recycled? Can they be recycled?
Yes, of course. They are recycling many, from blood bag to even the syringe. Syringe, and most of the medical plastic waste, they are recyclable. In fact, they write it there, recyclable. And if you check, most hospitals, if you get to most hospitals, you will see biohazard bags. So most of those biohazard bags, they are all recycling. But this is another thing. The way you handle medical waste is different from the way you handle normal waste. You understand? So it has to be disinfected first. So the process of recycling it is more tedious, and how will I put it? It's more technical than normal waste. Like the place we went to today now, a lot of plastic waste for, as I think, food and all the rest, video milk and all the rest. So we could see a lot of it they are disposing and all the rest. So the way they are handling that, they can't handle medical waste like that. So that is part of the issue we are having in third world country as regard to management of medical plastic waste. Thank you. Any more question?
It's not a question, but it's just like maybe kind of advice for this forum. I think it is high time that civil society will need to even work on how to raise our voices, especially in all these international meetings, because most of this decision on plastic waste and some other climatic issues, it's like civil society, especially in Africa here, maybe due to finance, we are not well represented. And then most times, it's just like we always follow whatever the European countries and the other advanced countries, whatever they put, just like a copy and paste. With some of them, they are not working in our environment here. So, and then my advice for this forum is that maybe we have to work on ways, at least prepare the minds of most of our participants for any of these international gatherings, so that this kind of forum, we can have maybe a document or maybe a paper policy that we can produce during all these international meetings. Like what you said, that when you participated in Canada, event in Canada and South Korea, I think we have many CSOs that come up with a kind of policy paper, it will go viral more than maybe a silo policy paper that will even move beyond the table at the conference. So, but I salute your courage for that presentation.
Yes. Thank you so much, sir, Prince Sheyi, for the encouragement. Yes, like what you said, so this is just the beginning. So we look forward to a brighter future, and we look forward to a more positive collaboration to bring a positive change to Africa and a good development, to Africa, and for a better generation of Africa, so that we can have a continent that we can be proud of. Thank you so much. So on behalf of Pan-African Professional Organization, once again, you are all welcome, and we really appreciate all the speakers and our dear colleagues from Nigeria. You are all welcome, and we really appreciate you, and we believe that with this we have something to start from, and we believe that most of us, we are connected and linked to several other CSOs, and we believe that you are going to share most of the positive discussions we have today here, and we believe that you won't give up, and you continue to push your government as well to pass relevant policies that we can use, formulate on to bring about end to this plastic pollution across Africa. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And as you go back, we wish you, as you go back, I don't know if some of you still be going back to Dubai, we believe it's a bit late, except, okay, some is catching flight, so if you are taking a bus. So we wish you a very safe journey back to Nigeria, and I'll be joining you soon as well. Thank you.